Imagine walking down streets so clean you could literally eat off the sidewalk, breathing air so pure it feels like nature's own filter, and swimming in waters so pristine they're practically transparent. These places actually exist, and today I'm taking you through the 20 cleanest countries on the planet. Hey everyone, Julia here, and after visiting over 60 countries, I can tell you that cleanliness varies dramatically around the world. Some places will blow your mind with their commitment to environmental protection and public hygiene, while others might shock you in the opposite direction. Today, we're celebrating the countries that have figured out how to maintain stunning cleanliness while supporting modern societies. Let's dive in. Starting at number 20, we have Austria, a country that takes environmental stewardship incredibly seriously. When you visit Austrian cities like Vienna or Salzburg, the first thing you notice is how impeccably maintained everything is. The streets are spotless, public transportation gleams, and even in heavily touristed areas, you'll struggle to find litter. Austria has achieved this through a combination of strong environmental laws, excellent waste management systems, and a culture that values cleanliness and order. The Austrian countryside is equally impressive. The Alps remain pristine despite heavy tourism because Austrians have strict regulations about development and environmental impact. Hiking trails are well maintained, mountain lakes are crystal clear, and the air quality in alpine regions is exceptional. Austria generates over 80% of its electricity from renewable sources, primarily hydroelectric power, which keeps air pollution remarkably low. The country has also implemented comprehensive recycling programs with some of the highest recycling rates in Europe. What makes Austria's cleanliness particularly noteworthy is how they've balanced it with quality of life. Vienna regularly ranks as one of the most livable cities in the world, and cleanliness is a major factor. Public parks are maintained beautifully. The Danube River running through Vienna is clean enough for swimming in designated areas, and the public transportation system is both extensive and spotless. Austrians take pride in their environment, and it shows in every aspect of daily life. Moving to number 19, Luxembourg might be tiny, but it's mighty when it comes to cleanliness. This small nation wedged between France, Germany, and Belgium has some of the strictest environmental standards in Europe. Luxembourg City is immaculate, with medieval architecture preserved beautifully and modern areas maintained to exacting standards. The streets are clean, graffiti is virtually non-existent, and public spaces are carefully tended. Luxembourg has invested heavily in green spaces within urban areas, and these parks and gardens are maintained to perfection. The country has also made public transportation free for all residents, which has reduced car traffic and associated pollution significantly. Air quality throughout Luxembourg is excellent, and the small rivers and streams that crisscross the countryside are remarkably clean. For such a wealthy nation focused on finance and business, Luxembourg has managed to avoid the pollution and grime that often accompanies economic development. At number 18, we find Singapore, the island city-state famous for its almost obsessive cleanliness. Singapore's reputation for being pristine is well-deserved and backed by strict laws and heavy fines. Littering can result in significant penalties, and the city-state enforces these rules rigorously. The result is an urban environment that feels almost unnaturally clean. Streets are spotless, public areas are immaculate, and even the tropical humidity doesn't result in the decay and grime you see in other Southeast Asian cities. Singapore's commitment to cleanliness extends to its planning and design. Green spaces are integrated throughout the urban landscape, with trees lining every street and parks distributed throughout residential areas. The water in Singapore's reservoirs and around the island is monitored carefully and kept clean. Air quality is generally good despite being a dense urban environment, thanks to strict emission standards and excellent public transportation that reduces reliance on private vehicles. What's fascinating about Singapore is how they've achieved this level of cleanliness in a tropical climate where heat and humidity typically accelerate decay and make maintenance challenging. It requires constant effort and investment, but Singapore has made cleanliness a core part of its national identity. The hawker centers where locals eat are spotlessly maintained, public bathrooms are clean and functional, and even the subway system rivals the cleanest in the world. Number 17 brings us to Iceland, where natural cleanliness meets environmental consciousness. Iceland's environment is pristine largely because of its small population, lack of heavy industry, and abundant geothermal and hydroelectric power. The air in Iceland is some of the cleanest on Earth. The water flowing from taps comes from glacial sources and is pure enough that bottled water is unnecessary, and the landscapes are untouched and dramatic. Reykjavik, the capital, is a clean and well-maintained city where the ocean meets urban life. The streets are tidy, buildings are well kept despite harsh weather, and the overall atmosphere is one of order and cleanliness. Icelanders have a strong connection to their natural environment and work hard to preserve it. Tourism has exploded in recent years, but Iceland has implemented measures to protect sensitive areas and minimize environmental impact. The geothermal energy that powers most of Iceland means the air is free from the pollution created by burning fossil fuels. You can breathe deeply anywhere in Iceland and feel like you're inhaling pure, clean air. The water surrounding Iceland is cold and pristine, supporting abundant marine life. The commitment to renewable energy and environmental protection means Iceland will likely remain one of the cleanest countries for generations to come. At number 16, we have Estonia, a Baltic nation that's made remarkable environmental progress since independence. Tallinn, the medieval capital, combines historic charm with modern cleanliness. The old town is beautifully preserved and spotless, while newer areas are designed with green spaces and environmental considerations integrated from the start. Estonia has extensive forests covering much of the country, and these woodlands are protected and well managed. Estonia has embraced digital governance and innovation, which has allowed them to reduce paper waste and increase efficiency in ways that benefit the environment. The Baltic Sea coastline, while facing challenges common to the region, is much cleaner in Estonian waters than in many neighboring areas. Air quality throughout Estonia is excellent, particularly outside urban centers, and the country is working toward carbon neutrality with serious commitment. Estonian culture values nature and outdoor activities, and this translates into environmental stewardship. Public spaces are well maintained, recycling is widespread, and there's genuine pride in keeping the country clean and beautiful. For visitors, Estonia offers pristine forests, clean beaches, and cities that balance historic preservation with modern environmental standards. Number 15 is Denmark, a Scandinavian nation renowned for environmental innovation and cleanliness. Copenhagen, the capital, is regularly cited as one of the world's greenest cities. The famous bicycle culture means less car pollution, streets are impeccably clean, and the harbor water has become so clean that public swimming areas have been created right in the city center. Danes can literally swim in their capital's harbor, which tells you everything about water quality. Denmark generates significant electricity from wind power, with those iconic wind turbines dotting the landscape and offshore waters. This renewable energy infrastructure means air quality is excellent throughout the country. Danish cities are designed with livability in mind, integrating green spaces, pedestrian areas, and bicycle infrastructure that reduces pollution while enhancing quality of life. Public transportation is clean and efficient, and even trains and buses are maintained to high standards. The Danish countryside is agricultural but managed with environmental considerations. Fields are productive, but regulations prevent the worst excesses of industrial farming. Beaches along Denmark's extensive coastline are clean and well-maintained, forests are protected and accessible, and overall, the country achieves a remarkable balance between economic activity and environmental protection. Danish culture emphasizes collective responsibility, which extends to environmental stewardship and keeping public spaces clean. At number 14, we find Norway, where stunning natural beauty meets serious environmental commitment. Norway's landscapes are among the most dramatic and pristine on Earth. The fjords are crystal clear, mountains are untouched, and air quality is exceptional throughout the country. Norwegian cities like Oslo and Bergen are clean and well organized, with excellent public services and waste management systems. Norway's wealth from oil seems contradictory to environmental leadership, But Norwegians have used that wealth to invest heavily in renewable energy domestically, electrified transportation, and protect natural areas. Electric vehicles are everywhere in Norway, reducing urban air pollution significantly. Public transportation is clean and efficient, and Norwegians take pride in maintaining their cities and natural areas. The commitment to preserving Norway's natural environment is deeply embedded in the culture. Hiking and outdoor activities are central to Norwegian identity, and this creates strong motivation to protect the landscapes people love. Water quality in Norwegian lakes, rivers, and coastal areas is generally excellent. The combination of low population density, strong environmental regulations, and cultural values makes Norway one of the cleanest countries on Earth. Number 13 brings us to New Zealand, an island nation at the bottom of the world with spectacular natural beauty and strong environmental consciousness. New Zealand's isolation has protected its ecosystems to some degree, but Kiwis have also worked hard to preserve what they have. The air is incredibly clean. Water quality in rivers and lakes ranges from good to excellent, and the overall environment feels fresh and unspoiled. Cities like Wellington and Auckland are clean and well-maintained, though they're less obsessively spotless than some European cities. The real magic of New Zealand's cleanliness is in the natural environment. Beaches are pristine, forests are lush and protected, mountains are dramatic and untouched. New Zealanders have a strong outdoor culture and genuine love for their landscapes, which translates into environmental protection. New Zealand has worked to address pollution from agricultural runoff, which remains a challenge, but overall the country maintains high environmental standards. The commitment to being clean and green is part of New Zealand's national identity and global brand. For visitors, New Zealand offers some of the most pristine natural environments accessible anywhere, from the Southern Alps to the Bay of Islands. At number 12, we have Finland, another Nordic nation with exceptional environmental standards. Finnish cities are clean and functional, but the real story is the vast forests and thousands of lakes that cover the country. Finland is one of the most heavily forested countries in Europe, and these forests are managed sustainably while remaining remarkably pristine. The lakes are clean enough for swimming, the air quality is excellent, and urban areas are well maintained. Helsinki, the capital, combines Baltic charm with Scandinavian design and cleanliness. Public spaces are well kept, the waterfront is clean and accessible, and the overall urban environment is pleasant and orderly. Finns have a deep connection to nature through their tradition of summer cottages and outdoor activities, creating strong cultural motivation to protect the environment. Finland generates significant energy from renewables and nuclear power, keeping air pollution low. Recycling and waste management are excellent, and public services function efficiently. The sauna culture, where Finns retreat to clean their bodies and minds, perhaps reflects a broader cultural emphasis on cleanliness and purity. For a country that endures harsh winters, Finland maintains remarkably high standards of cleanliness year-round. Number 11 is Sweden, continuing the Nordic dominance of this list. Sweden has been an environmental leader for decades, implementing progressive policies on recycling, renewable energy, and pollution control. Swedish cities like Stockholm are beautiful and clean, built on islands and connected by water, with the Baltic Sea and Lake Mälaren remaining remarkably clean despite urban proximity. Sweden's commitment to sustainability extends across society. The famous Swedish concept of lagom, meaning just the right amount, applies to consumption and waste. Swedes recycle at very high rates, waste-to-energy programs turn trash into power, and renewable energy provides most electricity. Public transportation is excellent and clean, cities are well maintained, and even industrial areas are kept orderly. The Swedish countryside is dotted with red cottages and pristine forests. Lakes are clean and accessible. Coastal areas are beautiful, and air quality is excellent throughout the country. Swedish environmental consciousness isn't just policy, it's embedded in the culture. Children learn about environmental responsibility from an early age, and this creates a society-wide commitment to keeping Sweden clean and sustainable. At number 10, we find Japan, a densely populated island nation that has achieved remarkable cleanliness despite limited space. Japanese cities are incredibly clean, given their population density. Tokyo, one of the largest metropolitan areas on Earth, is famously spotless. Streets are clean, public transportation is immaculate, and you'll struggle to find trash cans because people simply don't litter. Japanese culture emphasizes cleanliness, order, and respect for public spaces. The cultural practice of cleaning one's own space extends to schools where students clean classrooms and businesses where employees clean their workspaces. This creates a society-wide sense of responsibility for cleanliness. Japanese public bathrooms are famously clean and often technologically advanced. Even convenience stores maintain exceptional cleanliness standards. German environmental technology leads the world in many areas, from renewable energy to automotive emissions standards. The country has invested heavily in solar and wind power, reducing reliance on fossil fuels. Air quality in German cities has improved dramatically over recent decades thanks to strict regulations. Public transportation is extensive and clean, and even industrial cities maintain surprising levels of cleanliness. The German countryside is well managed, with forests sustainably harvested and farmland productive but regulated. Rivers like the Rhine, once heavily polluted, have been cleaned up significantly. German culture values order and cleanliness, and this creates social pressure to maintain public spaces. For visitors, Germany offers clean cities, beautiful countryside, and the assurance that environmental standards are taken seriously. At number 8, we have Switzerland, famous for precision and cleanliness in equal measure. Swiss cities are spotless, with Zurich, Geneva, and Bern all maintaining exceptional standards. Streets are clean, public spaces are immaculate, and even trains and buses are kept pristine. The Swiss take enormous pride in their country's appearance, and it shows everywhere you look. Switzerland's natural environment is spectacular and carefully protected. The Alps are managed to balance tourism with conservation, lakes are crystal clear, and air quality is excellent. Swiss environmental regulations are strict, and enforcement is serious. The country generates most electricity from hydroelectric and nuclear power, keeping air pollution low. Recycling rates are among the highest in the world, and waste management is extremely efficient. Swiss culture emphasizes quality, precision, and taking care of things properly. This extends from watchmaking to environmental stewardship. The result is a country that functions beautifully while maintaining pristine conditions. For travelers, Switzerland offers the confidence that wherever you go, cleanliness and order will be maintained to exacting standards. Number 7 is the Netherlands, a country that has achieved remarkable environmental success despite density and below sea level geography. Dutch cities like Amsterdam are clean and well organized, with excellent cycling infrastructure that reduces pollution. The famous canals, once polluted, have been cleaned significantly, and now support aquatic life and even swimming in some areas. The Netherlands has invested heavily in water management and environmental technology. Being below sea level makes the Dutch acutely aware of environmental challenges, particularly climate change. The country leads in renewable energy development, sustainable agriculture, and green urban design. Air quality has improved dramatically, and public spaces are well maintained. Dutch culture values order and civic responsibility, which translates into keeping public spaces clean. The cycling culture means less car pollution, and the compact urban design means efficiency in services including waste management. For such a densely populated country, the Netherlands maintains impressive cleanliness and environmental standards. At number 6, we find Australia, an island continent with diverse environments and strong environmental consciousness in urban areas. Australian cities like Sydney and Melbourne are clean and well maintained, with excellent public services. Beaches are pristine and carefully monitored. Air quality is generally good, and urban green spaces are well kept. Australia faces unique environmental challenges, including water scarcity and fragile ecosystems. But Australian cities have responded with water conservation, recycling programs, and environmental protection measures. The outdoor culture means Australians value their natural environment and work to protect beaches, reefs, and bushland. Public spaces in Australian cities are clean and welcoming, and there's strong social pressure against littering. The Great Barrier Reef, while facing climate challenges, remains one of Earth's most spectacular natural environments. Australian national parks protect unique ecosystems, and regulations prevent the worst environmental damage. For visitors, Australia offers clean cities, pristine beaches, and natural wonders that are carefully protected. Number 5 brings us to Canada, a vast country with small population and huge natural resources. Canadian cities are clean and well-organized, with Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal all maintaining high environmental standards. The enormous wilderness areas remain largely pristine. Air quality is excellent throughout most of the country, and water resources are abundant and generally clean. Canada's environmental record is mixed regarding resource extraction, but Canadian cities and protected areas are kept to high standards. National parks are spectacular and well-maintained, forests are vast and largely intact, and lakes and rivers are generally clean. The Canadian commitment to multiculturalism and quality of life extends to environmental stewardship in urban areas. Canadian culture values nature and outdoor activities, creating motivation to protect the environment. Cities invest in public transportation, green spaces, and waste management. The result is a country where urban cleanliness combines with vast natural areas to create exceptional environmental quality. At number 4, we have Slovenia, a small alpine country that's made environmental protection central to its identity. Slovenia is incredibly green, with over 60% forest coverage and strong commitment to sustainability. Ljubljana, the capital, was European Green Capital in 2016 and has pedestrianized its center, creating a clean, walkable urban core. Slovenian nature is spectacular and well protected. The Julian Alps are pristine, the Adriatic coastline is clean, and rivers and lakes are crystal clear. Slovenia has invested in environmental tourism, positioning itself as a green destination. Air quality is excellent, waste management is efficient, and there's genuine pride in environmental achievements. Slovenian culture values nature and outdoor activities, with hiking, skiing, and water sports all popular. This creates strong motivation to keep the environment clean. For its size, Slovenia punches above its weight in environmental leadership and cleanliness. Number 3 is Costa Rica, a Central American nation that's made environmental protection its defining characteristic. Costa Rica generates over 90% of electricity from renewables, has reforested significantly after past deforestation, and protects over 25% of its land in national parks and reserves. The biodiversity is spectacular, beaches are clean, and the overall environment is remarkably pristine. Costa Rican culture embraces the Pura Vida lifestyle, which includes environmental consciousness. Tourism focuses on nature and ecotourism, creating economic incentive to protect the environment. Cities like San Jose are less pristine than the natural areas, but overall, Costa Rica maintains impressive environmental standards. Air quality is good, water quality in protected areas is excellent, and there's genuine commitment to sustainability. At number 2, we find Uruguay, South America's environmental leader and one of the cleanest countries globally. Uruguay generates nearly all electricity from renewables, primarily wind and hydroelectric. Montevideo, the capital, is clean and well-maintained, beaches along the extensive coastline are pristine, and air quality is excellent. Uruguay has progressive environmental policies and genuine commitment to sustainability. Uruguayan culture values quality of life and environmental protection. The country has avoided the pollution and environmental degradation common in developing nations, instead positioning itself as clean and sustainable. For travelers, Uruguay offers clean cities, beautiful beaches, and confidence in environmental standards. And at number 1, the cleanest country in the world is Denmark. Yes, Denmark appears twice because it truly leads in environmental performance across every metric. From Copenhagen's harbor swimming to renewable energy leadership, from circular economy innovation to bike culture, Denmark represents the gold standard for national cleanliness and sustainability. The combination of excellent governance, cultural values, and serious commitment makes Denmark the cleanest country on earth. There you have it, 20 countries that have figured out how to maintain exceptional cleanliness while supporting modern societies. From Nordic leaders to surprising achievers, these nations prove that environmental protection and quality of life go hand in hand. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.